Good day and welcome to our preview today for the race meeting from Fairview, the 15th of January, and it's on the poly track. Before I start looking at the form and the betting, there's just one or two things that I want to mention. I do have a lot of people, well, not a lot, but I've got a few guys that subscribe to my service. And it really amazes me that, people don't subscribe more to my service because I've just been going through some of this week's tips that I gave you, just one or two. And I mean, the value that I bring to you, to the people, to the punters, I think it's tremendous value. For instance, on Tuesday, I gave a couple of winners, including race 4, number 12, Liverpool Legend, was my best bet of the day at 5-1. I also gave you Don't Look Back, which was 53-1, 14-1. Then on Wednesday, I gave you Big Sky Country, which was 8-1, as well as in race, one of the races, I haven't got the name in front of me, but it was one of my outsider selections. The horse won at 33-1. And then yesterday at the Val again, I gave you race 5, number 4, Sell High, 13-2, winning on his coconut Sell High. Just one or two of just a few of the best that I've given the guys this last week. And it really amazes me that people will spend hundreds of rands on losing bets, but they can't spend a couple of rand on somebody, supporting somebody or getting advice from somebody that really do know. I do think I know what I'm talking about. I don't have to prove myself, but yeah, it just amazes me. And then sometimes I look at these groups and you get some of these wannabe tipsters, and the things they tip really, really is astonishing. I can just shake my head. And the other day I also tipped a horse, and I gave him was it Kenilworth, and I gave my opinion, and I was deemed to be clueless. Outside of Genie clueless, but he tips you 53-1 winner. I just laughed. I really just laughed. So, guys, if you want to subscribe to my service and get value for money, I'm offering you now my normal service is 500 Rand a month. We are now in the middle of the month, so that means from now to the end of the month would have cost you 250. I'm giving it to you now from now till the end of the month for 200 Rand. So if you want to subscribe and also get my selections, please contact me on 083 585 5133. So let's look at the racing today at Fairview. Just to mention again, what I do is I mention my first selection is always my outright selection. That is the horse that I think will win the race and can be at any price. It is not it doesn't have a particular price. And in my outsider selections is two horses that I think can either win or place outsider selections, and I give them in no particular order. So let's have a look at the betting first on race 1. Race 1 is a 1600 meter maiden plate for fillies and mares. So let's have a look here what the betting is. I do like the look of the card. It looks like we can have a few winners. I won't say it's an easy card, but it's not that difficult either. So here we have number 4, leader of the pack, 5-2, 7-2, Marry in Haste, 17-2, Absolutely Fab, 9-1, Endless Charm, 9-1, Shaina, Summer Madness, 13-1, 15-1, and Longer the Rest. First of all, my outright selection is number 5. This horse has been knocking on the door, Absolutely Fab. Um, Unfortunately, this horse sometimes finds himself too far, but if you have a look in his last 2 runs, drawn 11 out of 12, 6 out of 10. And also here, I think the 1200 meters might just be a little bit sharp for this horse. I do believe the 1600 meters, looking at the breeding, elusive fought by Kahal Mayer, the 1600 meters will definitely suit Lucas Bester. As far as I know, during the week, rode 2 winners. And I'm looking for this horse will be running on strongest of all the horses in this race. This horse will be running on strongest, and maybe today is the day that he can get this horse in front come the winning post. Then for outsiders selections, I'm going for number 11. Now, number 11 is Let's Rock. And as you can see here, it says here, part owners, the Racehorse Owners Club. That is the syndicate that I have put together. So we have a small share in this horse, Let's Rock. And I'm not tipping it because we have a share, but if you have a look, this horse has been running on over the 1400 meters. Unfortunately, it is drawn 13. So I'm not sure what the trainer is going to do. I'm not in the habit of asking trainers. I mean, they train the horses and they let them run as they see fit. Maybe we want to go to the front, or maybe he's going to try and run on. I don't know. I haven't spoken to the trainer. But as you can see, this horse hasn't run has run with shorter distances, but definitely the longer distance will suit. Princess of Fire is now a 3-time winner, and Let's Rock finished 4.5 lengths behind. And I do believe that you need to put in 11 Let's Rock in your quartets. I'll be very, very happy if this horse win today, but I think we are expecting a place chance at least on this horse, Let's Rock. Then my other outsider selection is number 13, Sophia's Jewel. Also, this horse is a Futura by Elidor May. This Bejewel Spring I know that breeding. This horse has thrown a few winners, and the 1600 meters will definitely a better option for number 13, Sophia's Jewel. So also include in all your play. Then just here's the favorite, leader of the pack. Also having a good chance. But there's one thing, and I mentioned it the other day, it really tickles me. I don't know what's going on here. As I said, Marco van Rensburg preferred to ride in PE for this month that jockeys couldn't, go between provinces. Now, I would have thought that doing that, he will get the best rides. But now here he's on Latifa's Queen, well, I would think that number 4, leader of the pack, might be a better option, has got better chances. But maybe Gavin Smith knows something we don't know. I don't know, but just include this in the back end of, just include this in your quartets, because I'm not sure how the riding arrangements is currently in the Smith stable, but I would have think since Marco Rensburg is now riding in PE for this month, he would like get the pick of the rides, but again, I don't know. Then we move on to race number 2, which is an Autocam maiden plate over 1900 meters. Let us have a look at the betting. Here the betting is as follows. Number 3, Asian Times. Here we have Marco van Rensburg on a favorite, 16 to 10, Sarah Spirit, 17 to 10, Wild 5 to 2, Super Noir 8 to 1, Rebels Reward 25 to 1, Coming Home 25 to 1, and Longer the Rest. So here my race 2. My first selection is the favorite Ancient Times. This horse has been running well. He's been running against, has been running a number of places, and I do feel the 1900 meters is within his scope, and I think that number 3, Ancient Time, the horse to beat. My outsider selection, I'm only having one for this race, is number 4, Super Noir. I am a little bit surprised about these Captain Noirs because it seems to me that a few of them can actually run well. It took a while, but as lately see a few Captain Noirs has been winning or placed. Now this horse comes from Michael de Kock. Is a they had 3 runs on the poly for 1 second, but this horse run well on over that shorter distance, and I think last time out he was caught out a little bit with the draw 10 out of 10, and I do believe that number 4 Super Noir today will improve. Then we move on to race number 3, which is a fillies and mares handicap over 1900 meters, Class C, average merit rated 74. And here the betting is as follows: 16 to 10 Green Dragon, 33 to 10 Hawthorn, Cruise Along 7 to 2, Many Moons, oh sorry, Mary Moons, not Many Moons, 5 to 1, Legend says 5 to 1, 20 to 1, and longer the rest. Guys, in this race, I want to advise you. Let me explain to you who is my first selection. My first selection is number 1, Cruise Along. Now, I want to encourage you. The horse is currently at 7 to 2. Go and take the 7 to 2. If you have a look here, this horse is running in a Class C, average merit rated 74. Let's have a look here. This horse has run B divisions and A divisions. Gimme, Gimme, Water Spirit, Phillips Dance, Crusade Promise. They're all decent horses. Our prize Jewel ran in a future the other day. Elusive Fortune, this horse ran 3 lengths behind Elusive Fortune. Okay. Now, Elusive Fortune, I don't know if you remember, but won a future the other day at Kenilworth with Grant van Niekerk on board. Secret Depth, a very good horse that has been campaigning in future divisions in Cape Town. Here he ran behind Pink Tambourland. Pink Tambourland ran a horse that's got a future. Here it ran 5.75 Sovereign Secret. Sovereign Secret, the other race that he ran in a Queen's Plate from an average race meeting of 90. And this horse is 72. This is the best bet on the card. So run along, cruise along, take your bet. I don't say put the house on, but surely on this form, and remember I'm a form studier, this horse is going to be very hard to beat. Also getting -2.5. I couldn't believe when I saw this horse was 72. I was flabbergasted. I really thought this horse is going to be like 18 to 10 or 15 to 10. And here we have got this horse 7 to 2. Go and help yourself. Even go each way. So if the horse doesn't win, you're still going to get a nice prize. Let's just quickly look what is the place on this horse. 11 to 10. So you can still, you can get some of your money back. Yeah, it's amazing sometimes how they price up. I'm not sure how they price up. And in my outsider selection in this race is number 4, Magic Miller. Another horse that I think has got a nice chance. This horse has been running Tartan Dancer. I mean, Tartan Dancer, no donkey. This horse won 2 races in a row. Now, I can tell you today, if any horse that wins 2 races in a row from a maiden to the next race has got ability. That's a fact. Now, this horse used to be an 85. It's now a 78. It's been running in A divisions, the Oaks, B division, C division, now also down in class. So it might even be nice to maybe take a small exacta, 1 and 4. Because I think this horse is running also down in class today. Magic Miller and Lucas Bester on board might just pop up. Then I don't say Green Dragon doesn't have a chance. They do, but look at this. This horse couldn't win AR70 the other day. He ran then in an 80, which he ran reasonably well, being beaten by Dragon Moon. But I mean, Dragon Moon has now won 4 in a row already. Hawthorne also ex the cock horse. Was running well, but again, 70, 71, 73, 65. And hasn't run against the same class. But again, maybe after the race, I would look like a fool. Hopefully not. Then we move to race number 4, which is a merit rated 92 divided handicap over 1900 meters, class B, average merit rating 86. Here we have Barberton Silver 33 to 10, Nippy Sweet 33 to 10, Orange Miss Orange 4 to 1, Lord Marshall 6 to 1, Purest Bliss 7 to 1, Seeking Wisdom 8 to 1, Celestial Prince 8 to 1, 12 to 1, King Capone. Just confirm, Class B, average merit rated 86. My selection here is number 1. Look where this horse is run, about Rockalow 91. A 92, just beaten by Mango. Mango was now KwaZulu Natal, definitely not a donkey. American Princess, Calandra, Silver ran second to our Silver de Lange. Silver de Lange was placed the other day in a small future. Here's Sovereign Secret again. We just had Sovereign Secret who ran in a future. So my choice here is number 1, Seeking Wisdom. Barberton Silver and Nippy Sweet also have got chances not to be left out. This Nippy Sweet won 4 races in a row. But also a horse that I think you cannot discard is number 5, Purest Bliss. Purest Bliss is my outsider selection. He's running well, always there and thereabouts. Maybe in a little bit lower class, but definitely Purest Bliss is a horse that has good ability and can surprise all of them. Then I move on to race number 5, which is a merit rated 74 handicap, class D, average merit rated 65. Here we have the betting 33 to 10, at the office 4 to 1, and Jenski Sun 4 to 1, Ruby Raven 6 to 1, Judas 7 to 1, 8 to 1, Jackson Pollock 10 to 1, Ice Baron 53 to 1, and longer the rest. And here my selection is number 7, Nijinsky Sun. This horse is improving every time he runs. Has been running there and thereabouts. And if we have a look here behind Barberton Silver, then and based on the runs behind Judas and Bush Fever, on the weight turnaround, he should finish in front of them. So number 7, the Jinskin Sun, my selection. Outside the selections is number 3, Ice Baron. Ice Baron also was getting -2.5. Gavin Smith stable has been running the all abouts not too far behind, and I do think that Ice Baron might be running a forward race today. My other outsider selection is number 6, Jurist. As I said, on a weight turnaround, Nijinsky's son should finish in front, but this horse is also running, has been beaten by Jagged Moon, but Jagged Moon is turning out to be a really good horse. Last time out ran very well, 23.7, coming from 9, draw 9 out of 13, today draw 3, so Jurist to run on. As a matter of fact, you might want to play that exacta 6 and 7, which will be a stable exacta. Then we move on to race number 6, a fillies and mare 70 handicap, class E, average merit rated 61, race 6. Here the betting is number 8, Silver Fountain 28 to 10, 92 Fireworks 6 to 1, Dipladenia, I Love Mambo 6 to 1, Benefici 6 to 1, Olivine 10 to 1, 12 to 1, New Bell, and Big Murph 16 to 1, and longer the rest. And again, here my first selection, we're looking here at the class E 61 average. My first selection is number 1, Dipladina, Flower Alley by a Western Winter Mare. What a breeding. It's also getting the -1.5, -2.5. Now, if you look here, This horse is now running in the 61 E division. He had run in C divisions behind Broadside and St. Teresa. Now down in class and also getting the services of -2.5. Now I don't know if you recognize this name. 5.1 lengths behind Captain Ransom. Captain Ransom won the Phillies Guineas. This horse managed to finish 6 lengths behind that horse in her first race. I really do believe that this is also a very good bet. Therefore, it is one of my each way bets for the day. Number one, De Bladina. It's going to run a huge race. And my outsider selections is number two, Olivine. Olivine is coming from Joburg. Her first run here on the Poly. A seventh rock by National Emblem Mare. Used to be with Lucky Udelakis. Now in the camp of Duncan McKenzie. And I do feel this horse has also been running against decent opposition and can be involved in the finish here with Lucas Bester on board. My other outsider selection is number five, Beneficiary. Also horse that's been running there and thereabouts. Keegan Stein on board, drawn seven jogs, trade on the trainer, and also finished behind Intrepid Traveler last time in a higher division. Now that was a 73. Now back in a 61. Just got run out of it, no, just 1.3 lengths behind Law and Order. And I do feel Beneficiary can be a nice inclusion for your quartet and trifecta selections. So then let's move on to race number seven. Race number seven is a lower handicap non-black type, Class D, average merit rate at 84. Let's have a bring at the beating. Number one, Bloom 11 to 10, Heron 3 to 1, Intrepid Traveler 33 to 10, Internal Hope 11 to 10, Kiss of Life 10 to 1, 33 to 1, Dancing Girl. Now, again here, the bookmakers has priced up this horse, Bloom. Last time when it ran, I said this horse is running, up in class, but I still back 6 to 10. I want everybody not to go big on this horse, not to banker it because it is beatable. And again here today, I think that is the similar situation, as I do believe that the form of Heron is very strong. If you have a look, Heron has been running behind Global Drummer. I think if it wasn't for Global Drummer, she would have, won a few races. So here we have Global Drummer beaten Storyland by 3.5 in a small future. Storyland, no donkey. Fly My Flag, very good horse. And then here again behind Global Drummer, stubborn, slow. The only thing that can stop this horse from winning is losing ground at the start, because that seems to be a bit of a problem. But if they can overcome that problem, then I think Two Heron is a huge runner. Then also include in your quartet number five, Keys of Life, is a coup de grace by out of Connecticut Countess by Count de Bois. This horse has also been running well against nice opposition and can be involved in the finish. So then let's move on to race number eight. Race number eight is a merit rated 74 handicap class D, average merit rating 70. We do have a scratching of number two. Number six, Sentinel's 2 to 1, Linda Lovelace 11 to 2, Precious Stone 7 to 1, Baltic Beat 8 to 1, Harlequin Jack 10 to 1, Hidden Influence 10 to 1, 10 to 1, Orchard Express 14 to 1, and Better the Rest. Now, here in this race, my first selection is number three, Harlequin Jack. Harlequin Jack having its first run here in PE on the Poly. It's also be an ex de Cock horse, 69 days since last run. But if you have a look here, Michael de Kock deemed this horse good enough to enter this horse into the Dungan, where it didn't run a good race. But then it also ran against Copper Mountain in a much higher division. And I do think Copper Mountain is going to be a top horse. Also, here we have 6 lengths behind Mount Pleasant. I think if you put Mount Pleasant in this race, he probably win by about 50 lengths. So I do believe Harlequin Jack has got potential and can go in here. The only drawback is draw 11, but do include currently 8 to 1. You can't it's still a nice price. Then my outsider selection is number 5, Precious Stone. Also an ex-Gauteng horse, has also been running against some decent opposition, and also runs in some of the higher classes, 75, 79, 75. So also actually down in class, Precious Stone, I think can be a runner that can be involved in a finish here. And my other outsider selection is number 9, Baltic Beat, Marco van Rensburg. His horse is also running well, ran behind Chainsaw. Chainsaw has come out and won again, so that franked the form. And I do think Baltic Beat is a 3-year-old that can still improve and be involved in the finish. I just want to touch on this favorite, which is number 6, Cell Tillers. Now, this 5-star girl, somewhere along this week, I also saw that breeding, but I couldn't remember where. But they've paid 2.2 million rand for this horse. And here this horse finds himself in PE. Wow. Now, this horse has run some decent races, but I would think the 1200 meters today might be too short for this horse. So be careful today. I think but Alan Greer has got the reputation that sometimes he brings horses that we think is going to need the longer distance, and then bring them, and they win over the shorter distance. I see this horse did beat Turner Barbie. Turner Barbie battled he had 2 or 3 races here before it won its maiden, and since winning his maiden, hasn't done much. So look out for number 6, Celtis. Definitely not a banker, not a horse to go big on. You also have Linda Lovelace, also Alan Greef. This horse has been running there and thereabouts. Ran not too bad behind Bull Dreamer last time, and Chainsaw, as we said, has won again, Alaskan Fate. But please know this horse is running up in class. Used to be running in 64, 68, 64. Now today running in a D Division 70. So just keep an eye out on that. So that brings us to the end of our preview. I hope I could point you in the right direction. And as I always say, break a leg.